So my name is Shawn Hughes. I am a junior supply chain management major from Howard University. It's a good question. What made me choose supply chain? I often tell this story as in phases. And so I would say when I'm a consumer, I always think about things as in who makes them, how they're being made, like how much do they cost. And at the time, I didn't know what that was. And so when choosing my degree and specifically, I knew I wanted to do business. And so eventually it drove me to choose Howard University. It's one of the best business schools actually in the country, which is something I didn't know at the time. And then I ended up stumbling upon supply chain management in my sophomore year of college, university. I used to be general business management. And then I chose supply chain management after doing some studies about different careers, how much money they make, and how much money that they make, and what do all of those things mean to me. And that's kind of how I ended up here. What really excites me about choosing a career in supply chain and procurement is being able to move on from the consumer side and seeing things from the outside and being able to see everything from the inside. What leads to those giant decisions that companies are making, or in this case, governments are making? What controls spending, how much we're inputting, how much that's being output, what people want. And so looking at contexts like supply and demand, those things are really exciting. And then next to that, I think what's been important to me is helping people. It's so nerve-wracking entering those giant rooms with people who do not look like you. And I think oftentimes I gravitate towards people who can look like me or do look like me. But I think there's also a personal obstacle as well of pushing myself to meet new people that don't look like me, sound like me, or grew up like me. And so cherishing those diverse experiences. So I think there's a personal, and then there's also a from an outside looking in perspective, and it's also a little bit of my story. Benefits that I feel like NASPO provided to me, and benefits that I think that NASPO is capable to provide, open my eyes to an idea of public procurement and public supply chain and working for the government. And that wasn't something I was kind of, I guess you could say, trained to think about, or something I constantly think about. And I think the resources of you guys providing scholarships, in particular to students like myself and the other ones who did appear at NASPO last year, get in touch with, different people within your school, whether you're supply chain or not. And stay on LinkedIn and follow up with people, learn how to write an email, get your certifications. Those are all things that I definitely stress. And if you're scared to ask questions, trust me, there's someone that's been in your place, and there's always someone that you can ask. Don't be afraid to break out of your shell. Invite someone to coffee, I would say. That's one thing I do. Invite someone to coffee or to lunch.